Ladies and gentlemen, welcome at this web lecture in which we will discuss one of my favorite topics, the purpose of comparative law. Comparing law is relatively a new branch of the legal sciences in which we use mostly techniques we stole from sociology. The idea is that we compare two or more legal systems and how they respond, how their systems respond to a particular social problem. The fundamental question here is, why on earth would we compare legal systems? What's the purpose actually of this law comparison? Well, we have various purposes we could use in comparing the law, and the purpose in that sense dictates mostly what we do in our comparison. For instance, we could just compare to gain knowledge. We are just curious about the world around us and what's out there, and we are really interested in how different legal systems at some point respond to a particular social problem. For instance, what happens if someone steals something from someone else in a given society? How does the legal system A respond to theft compared to legal system B? In comparing, we gain knowledge because we can see two different versions of forbidding theft and two different versions of addressing the issue in the legal system. However, the gaining of knowledge usually is nice, but mostly purely an academic thing. Sometimes we actually want to do something with that knowledge, and that goes beyond just gaining knowledge. For instance, we could evaluate the better law. If I would be a legislator and I would be very interested in adopting a new law on theft, I could look around me first before I start drawing my own legislation. I could compare the different legal systems around me to see how they deal with the same matter. And I can learn something from that. And I can basically decide, well, the legal system of country A has the best solution to theft when I compare it with my own legal system and the needs of my own legal system. So that is why I take the solution in legal system A as a big example on how I will draft my own domestic legislation. So I'm evaluating the better solution in order to use that to my benefit. So sometimes also a court will look around and see how other legal systems respond to a particular legal challenge. So especially in the common law countries, we see that the courts, when they are confronted with a particular legal challenge and they do not know yet how to apply the law in a particular given case, they look at other colleague countries in the Commonwealth tradition and see how these courts in those countries respond to this particular legal system. They compare that and they use the comparison to their own benefit in substantiating their own application of the law. Well, of course, comparative law can help to improve legal education. When law students are able to see different solutions to the same social problem, it helps them to understand the law in a better way, and of course, it broadens the scope of their legal knowledge, obviously. A last purpose of law would be the unification of law. Especially in the context of economic legal cooperation, the European Union is an example of that. We see that we want to harmonize legislation. We want the law to be the same in all participating member states. Why? Well, because then we can level the playing field of business, and it doesn't make a difference whether I do business in the Netherlands or in Belgium or in Poland. The rules of the game are all the same. In unifying the law, I need to figure out what is the current state of affairs in each domestic legal system. And if I figure that out, I can try to look for things we have in common and things that are different. Especially those things that are different, I have to overcome. Probably I have to negotiate my way around here, or negotiate my way out of this. But at some point, I will be able to fix a unified standard that is acceptable for all participating member states. So the law comparison contributes in that sense to the unification of law. Well, ladies and gentlemen, these were the 5 main functions of comparative law, and to be quite honest with you, I've stole these 5 main functions a little bit from the famous works of Zweigert and Coates in their groundbreaking works on comparative law. Thank you very much for watching, and good luck.